Hi, I'm Marlon Gonzalez, and today I will be going over my entire filmography as well as some questions that you guys wrote in. I'm really excited because I've never really done this. It's been almost a decade since I've looked back at these projects, but I'm very excited. And I looked really dark because I went boating last week, but I'm always dark, so what are we gonna do? Starting with the film that started it all, The Truth Within Your Lies, 2015. What inspired the complex narrative of The Truth Within Your Lies? Was it based on personal experience or purely imaginative storytelling? Purely imaginative. I had such a morbid mindset at that time. And so if you look back at that script, it's a really dark script that talks about a lot of adult-like subjects that I didn't even understand at the time. I had a lot of fun shooting that series because it was the first time I worked with my friends who are not actors, but decided to volunteer to make this incredibly heavy show. And it's the heaviest one I've ever written and made. So shout out to the cast and crew for that. Why the Comedy, 2016. Can you share any memorable moments from the set where the cast or crew's improvisation led to unexpected but brilliant scenes? The reason why I wanted to work with Stefano Puertas and Lexi Seacrest are, one, because they're incredible actors, and two, they're great at improv. There's a scene in Y where Stefano's character is yelling at this poor PA to give him a mouthwash, completely unscripted. But that's just the genius of Stefano. He's such a dedicated actor, and the fact that he won a Utah Film Award for this character just shows how phenomenal he is. I was just talking to Lexi Seacrest the other day, actually. The Unbreakable One, 2017. The Unbreakable One explores themes of resilience and strength. What personal connections do you have to these themes, and how do they influence your direction? So a lot of people don't know this, but The Unbreakable One is a metaphorical statement of my coming out in terms of my sexuality publicly. I made this, it's actually the only remake that I've made. I made this because I'm a huge fan of Smallville, and I'm a huge fan of its story. It's about this character who has a secret ability that he wants to share to the world, but he's afraid that the world might not accept him for who he is. As a little kid, I was identified with that story and that show, and it shaped a lot of how I view myself and how I view the world. And The Unbreakable One came out of that, and it's one of my most precious TV series really that I've ever made because it opened doors for me in ways that I didn't know those doors ever existed. I have tried to show Smallville to a lot of those who are close to me because of how I relate to it, but a lot of them either think it's too corny, they either don't want to watch it, or they prefer to watch it some other thing. And so the fact that I'm sharing this in this interview brings a huge smile to my face because it does mean a lot to me, and it shaped who I am. What is your favorite song? Sailing, Christopher Cross. Sky Purple, 2019. The title Sky Purple is quite evocative. What significance does the color purple hold in the context of the film's story and visual aesthetic? Sky Purple, starring Academy Award winner Fabiola Uribe. No, I'm kidding. This film, in its entirety, is black and white. The only scenes that are not in black and white is when this guy's reminiscing about this image of a person in their head. And I guess you can kind of compare it to being on cloud 9 or going through like this pink cloud phase where you're kind of just in the loop, you're having the time of your life, you're reminiscing, and then reality hits and it all becomes black and white. And so I guess you can see it as that. I love Sky Purple so much. I think it's ahead of its time, personally. The problem with Sky Purple is that we aimed it at a demographic that people couldn't necessarily relate to. So if I were to release that right now, I think people would get it because it's ahead of its time. Lost in Fading Memories, 2021. Memory and loss are poignant themes in Lost in Fading Memories. How did you work with the actors to portray the nuanced emotion associated to these themes? So I had the incredible honor of working with Bella McConnell, who's an incredible actress. Me and Easton were able to incorporate a lot of our personal lives into the script, as well as she was able to incorporate a lot of recent events to this character. And so when you have a vulnerable script and an incredible actor like Bella, it all really came very naturally. Like we never really forced anything to happen. In fact, one of the best scenes in the entire film is the scene where she's on top of a mountain and you see the city lights just reflect on her face, and she's just letting go of what she once loved. The monologue in particular was so relatable, and I feel like it's a film that's going to last for a long time because it's relevant. Volvere, 2023. How has your life changed since the release of Volvere? My life has changed dramatically since Volvere. I made this film from stories and experiences that I have witnessed and gone through in my childhood, and the fact that I was able to put that on a script was incredibly scary, and there was a lot of risks involved with Volvere. But the outpouring of love and acclaim that the film got made it all worth it. I think the most significant part about this entire journey was seeing people's reaction to it was the fact that I was able to talk to our audiences and they were able to tell me how closely they relate to the story meant a lot to me. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters to me, is if I was able to connect with the demographic that I particularly aimed at with this film. That's it. As far as the acclaim and the awards and all that, that's great, but I am an artist and I'm a storyteller, and that's first and forefront more than anything. I'm grateful that film did really well. It changed my life, it changed all of our lives, and I love that film so much. A Convincing Illusion, 2024. How did you collaborate with the editing team to ensure that the film's pacing maintained the tension between what's real and what's illusion? How many versions did we have of this? 58? We have 58 versions of this film, so we worked very closely. In fact, we were the editing team, me and Easton. I think when we were making it, we didn't truly understand what the film was about, and it wasn't until we experienced our own life experiences, I think that's when we got it, and we were able to go back with a brand new mindset and a brand new perspective on life that made the editing session so quicker and so efficient. In fact, we didn't finish editing it until after it premiered. I am very content with the version that we have right now. I love it. If it wasn't for A Convincing Illusion, then I wouldn't have made everything I made after. And so I'm grateful for that experience. What am I grateful for? I'm grateful for life. I'm grateful for love. I'm grateful for happiness. I'm grateful that I have an incredible family by my side. I'm incredibly grateful that I have friends, and that I have a lot of blessings, and I have this incredible career that I have, and an incredible job. I had an epiphany the other day, actually, with a therapist. Almost every single day, I've woken up to either a text message, a call, or a visit from a friend, multiple friends genuinely asking me how I've been doing, wanting me to be a part of their lives, and wanting to be a part of mine, having endless conversations and just arranging plans in general, and it made me feel very welcomed and very loved that there are kind and selfless people in this world that are genuine. It's opened my perspective up completely, and it has changed my life, and I am so much happier and so much in a better mindset because I feel like there's no hobby, there's no sport, there's no activity that is more important than a human being, and I feel like we should value those human beings, because if somebody sees you as too much, then it's not worth spending your time with them. I'm grateful for those people in my life. Is there a story you haven't told or written yet that you'd love to tell or write? I feel like this is a tricky question for me to unveil if I'm working on something or not. Yes, I am working on the next film. I love my next film. I love the story. I love what all of us are bringing into the table in terms of the technicalities and the performances that we haven't even made just yet, but I'm excited for its potential. I think it's a beautiful story. Thank you so much for joining me in this weird Q&A. It was a lot of fun. I was able to reminisce about a lot of good old memories that I haven't thought about in a while. And if there's a message I want to give out right now, is that I am incredibly thankful to all of the cast and all the crew that I've ever worked with throughout my entire career, because you guys put in so much passion and love, and it's evident when you're watching these films, and I'm so grateful for that. And with that being said, thank you so much. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in the movie theater.